Hey fam, it's your girl, the one and the only Spicy, and I'm here today with another pick a card reading. I hope everyone is having a blessed day, a blessed week thus far, and I'm so excited to deliver this reading. Now, this reading is being done outside of my typical schedule for reading, so it's kind of impromptu, but of course, to you, it's pre recorded, so you're just getting a reading when you get it. But I'm just excited, and I really wanted to read for this topic. And the topic for today is what are your unexpected blessings? Now, if there's one major blessing that comes up, I definitely will talk about that. If there's multiple blessings, then I will mention that as well. But we're going to be looking at, unexpected blessings and what is to come. And let's give it a time period of within the next month to 3 months, just so you can place it and it'll take some pressure off. So let's just place it between 1 month to the next 3 months. And the specific questions that I'll be asking, of course, what is your unexpected blessing? What is it going to give you? And how can you best navigate towards it? Now, if you would like any information about myself, all of that information is within the description box as far as how you can get into contact with me or even see the other projects and things that I actually work on in addition to maintaining this YouTube channel. You can check that out at my link tree. But yet again, all of that information is there as far as how you can get into contact with me. And if you would like a personal reading, I am always available for personal readings unless I say that I'm not. So you can go ahead and hop onto my schedule and just prepare to have an amazing reading. That is definitely going to help you with your current situation, and it's going to help you get to where you personally want to get. So with that being said, you can go ahead and pause the video right now and choose the pile that you feel like you're most attracted to, whether by the artwork or even by the crystal. And then I will go ahead and get started with your reading. So with that being said, y'all, I hope you're having a blessed day. I hope you enjoy this reading, and I will see you at your pile. All right, fam. If you chose the Cosmic Tarot deck, I love this deck, with the clear crystal quartz, the geode, I'm going to go ahead and start your reading now. Like I mentioned, I hope everyone is doing well. I was a little under the weather, so I'm going to be taking it easy with my voice today. But, still making sure that y'all get the information that you need just to make the best informed, decisions and choices as you continue to keep walking on your own individual journey and path. So, yes, unexpected blessings. Let's see what comes up for you. Let's see what comes up for you. So it seems like, I'm definitely getting financial. Y'all know I was about to start. I really was. I was literally about to start, but I think I was correct. It seems like y'all have been dealing with some financial issues, or just not being able to provide in the way in which you typically would. So I can definitely say that you all are, you're typically like, I don't know why benefactor came to mind, but it seems like a lot of you all tend to give rather than to take. But it seems like y'all have been dealing with just some issues with your own personal cash flow. And even with other people coming to your aid, it seems like you're the one who might always be helping someone financially. But when it comes down to it being replenished, when it comes down to you getting the support that you need, it may always be stagnant. It seems like I said, you're the benefactor. You're the one that typically tends to provide more so than others. Yeah, you definitely could be going just through some financial issues at this time, especially with the King of Pentacles in reverse. Or you may have for some reason, I'm also getting maybe issues with legitimizing your business, maybe issues with investing into your business. But the good thing I can definitely say is that this situation is definitely going to change. I feel like, in a sense, what might be happening to you right now is probably happening to you, so that you can understand that when you get money, maybe it's not best to just dish it out to everybody before you take care of yourself. So maybe this is like a lesson that you're learning from the universe, which is to, when you get your money and the universe is blessing you with these things, so that you can keep them and figure out what you need to do for yourself first before you start, giving out to other people. I'm trying to say, focus on your own business. But I definitely do think that this is something that is going to transform and change. I don't see you remaining in this situation. Now, the amazing thing that I could say that the universe, is blessing you with even through this situation is just your own sense of emotional regulation and control. And I think it's because you've been in a place of, maybe non-action right now, or maybe you just not knowing what to do. So one of the blessings that you're being, given through this difficult situation, or through a situation that may be challenging, let's say, that is, a sense of peace, a sense of emotional regulation, a sense of, control. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's not necessarily control over all of your outside circumstances, because we can't really do that. We can't control a lot of external things, but you can control what's going on internally with you, and you can control your level of happiness and positivity and just being at peace with where you are, even though you know that this isn't a place that you want to be in. But I'm just telling you this too, your current situation, if you're dealing with any financial issues or issues with business, like, this situation it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be like this. It is going to change. Things are going to get better. Things are going to transform. It's not going to be this way. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of you all will be blessed with, financial opportunities to increase your finances. I think it's dependent on your level of you being creative. It's dependent on your level of creativity and your ability to jump on opportunities as they come up. So another blessing for you is going to be some type of opportunity that is going to be able to increase your income. But you also have to be aware that when you get this money, it's up to you to to be responsible with this money, and to give to yourself, to give to your own personal situation and circumstance, since you've been in a circumstance in which you may not have been able to, have the things that you needed, when you needed them. Maybe you were so busy and focused on giving things out to other people. Like I said, you weren't giving to yourself. So it's like, when you get this money from the universe, when you get this opportunity, jump on it, and also make sure that you're putting yourself first and that you're paying yourself first. Make sure that you're doing that. Now, with this opportunity, I can definitely say that, I feel like it's going to be something that really increases your visibility. I can definitely say that. So something that you can work on in the meantime would be your confidence, and your level of confidence, and your level of capability. Understanding that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And especially with this Queen of Wands energy, it's requiring for you to show up in your full self, to show up with some self-esteem, to show up with some value, show up knowing that you're worthy, and show up knowing that, and this is really half of it. This is really half of it. Okay. This is really half of it. I know y'all, I know y'all have seen those people who they're not really knowledgeable, and they don't really have the skill and ability, but as long as they show up in their best self and their confidence, people literally think they could do any and all things, So regardless of your own level of knowledge, skill, or expertise about whatever type of business that you're in, it's important for you to show up being confident, and people are going to be more willing to trust the person who, regardless of if they have it all together or not, the person that seems like they have it, together. People are going to be more willing to want to trust that individual. So where can I put this Queen of Wands? Let's just put her on top of the Temperance card, because honestly, it's like, it's seeming like I don't want to say a fake it till you make it type of situation, but you should still, imperatively speaking, you should definitely be preparing yourself and making sure that you're spending time actually building the skill. But on top of that too, that within this opportunity that you must take, like I said, you should show up in your full self. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you all are kind of starting over with your financial situation, and you're building things from the ground up. And it's important that when you receive this money, when you receive this opportunity, it's important that you decide to focus solely on yourself. It's important that you decide to, don't feel like you have to prove anything to anyone. Even if you have to start over with your financial situation, or you're building up a foundation, don't feel like you have to prove anything to anyone. It's all about you making the best decisions that you can make for yourself. And I'm seeing that with this unexpected blessing, it's definitely something that's coming through a divine intervention. Is that especially with the Judgment card, it's something that's coming through divine intervention. It wasn't really something I feel like that you could control, as far as just the external factors surrounding this. It's not something that you could control, but I think, of course, like I said, the one thing that you can control is where you delegate those funds, where you delegate that money. And I think that when you get this money, you'll be more aware of how to delegate these things, because it's money. You know what I'm trying to say? It's money, and it's finally here, and it's finally on the way. And it's something that you needed. It's definitely something that you needed. Yeah, I feel like a lot of y'all have potentially been holding yourself back from this blessing. I think that it's something that you need. So I don't know if you've been trying to convince yourself that, maybe playing it small is for you, or you've been trying to convince yourself that maybe you just gotta sit in your situation and you just have to deal with the fact, you have to sit in your situation and you just have to deal with the fact that maybe things didn't work out. And yeah, I mean, do sit in your situation, but at the end of the day, don't stay focused on what did not work out. It's going to be important for you to continue to push on past that, and understand that in order to do what you want, you do need more finance. You do need more resources, so that you can actually be able to stretch and express yourself in a way in which you desire to express yourself, because you have more. So your situation is definitely going to transform. It's definitely going to get better, especially with this death card. It's letting me know that, things may not be things may not be as you would like for it to be financially, but it will get better, and you will find that you will be coming out of, especially with the Three of Swords in reverse. So your finances could have been affected because of relationships, as far as you giving out more to other people and maybe not getting the same thing back in return. It could have been because of relationships, or it could have been because of different ideas and things that you had, but maybe you didn't solidify those ideas into actually substantial action steps and plans and things that you can do. Maybe it was just like, I just heard whim, doing things on a whim, maybe being a little too impulsive with things. But I can definitely say that through this opportunity, one of the blessings that you're getting is a sense of peace, and knowing that, it is what it is. And the best thing that you can do is to prepare yourself emotionally, to strengthen yourself emotionally, so that you can be able to rebuild up your foundation in the way in which and I feel like your foundation is really about to be built in a way in which you didn't really expect it to be. That was something that also that came up. So let's look at what is it going to give you? Like, what is this unexpected blessing going to give you? Now, I did tell you what the unexpected blessing was. Not only are you getting granted a sense of peace, knowledge, and understanding of how to delegate your money, but you're also going to be given more opportunity and things that you can jump on, and also I feel like these things too are also being led by and guided by your own sense of creativity, because I'm seeing wands here. So maybe it's you no longer even having to defend yourself even against other people or your decisions or why you do things that you do. But it just seems like you all will be granted another start at being able to rebuild your financial situation, and it'll be just for it's just for you. It's literally just for you. So What is it that what is this situation going to give you? It's going to give you patience. I completely agree with that, and I see that you all even through this situation will finally get to a place of peace. And just impulsivity when it comes to acting on these opportunities and acting on and just taking action on these things. But I feel like it'll give you patience as far as even with the Princess of Swords in reverse. Like, y'all know how the Page of Swords is. The Page of Swords can be like it's really enamored with what's in front of his face. The Page of Swords is really just like, oh, what's this shiny new thing, like, oh, what's this, and just kind of goes with the flow of that. I think that's why I'm like, maybe y'all have been doing things on a whim, and I feel like you'll finally understand through this that, you know, it's best to be patient with things and to develop things, you know, steadily as you go along. And especially if you're rebuilding your financial situation, this is something that takes time. It's not something that can just like up and happen in one day. I mean, hey, look, that's all you. Maybe you could get multiple tasks done within something as extreme as that, but just with money and just with, you know, gaining resources and understanding how to delegate your money and where to put it, and, you know, these things take time. It takes time. It takes experience. It takes having to fail, which I think is something that you've experienced. And it's just gonna take, you know, like I said, time and patience. And then also with temperance, with the temperance card, I think of that as well as in, you know, patience as well. So it's just going to be you having to just be a little more easier with yourself and maybe not make such impulsive decisions with your money moving forward, especially when it comes to giving to other people and giving more to other people than you gave to yourself. Now, what is this unexpected blessing, you know, this new opportunity for money, this peace that you're experiencing from having the ability to rebuild your foundation financially? What is this? What else is this going to give you? And it's going to give you change. So that's why I'm like, I don't think that this is a permanent situation. Like, you're not going to be able to transform and change from the situation. Hence, we have the death card, you know, moving from a period of darkness into a period of light. It's going to give you, and that's what you can see here actually within this change card. And it's not like it's mad dark back here, but you can just see the horizon on the other side. But that comes through movement. If you didn't move, if you didn't keep walking, you wouldn't see that there was a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's definitely what this situation is going to give you. It's going to give you the sense of, oh my God, I can finally breathe. Maybe I can be more comfortable, you know, in my financial situation now, because I don't have to feel like I have to work myself to the bone just to potentially even break even or trying to catch up. You know, it's just, I see that there's like a big sigh of relief from just not having to exhibit so and exert so much energy that you've been trying to exhibit and exert in this one area because of maybe anxiety about it, not really understanding or knowing where it's going to go. But I can definitely say here that it's definitely going to be changed, and the movement is going to be slow. I can definitely say that the movement definitely is going to be slow, in which you're going to have patience. But at the end of the day, it's just the fact that the way that you're going is you're just taking a different road, and you're taking a higher you're taking the higher road to get to where you need to be. And I don't know, I feel like what I got to was just a perspective also, and just giving you more of an eagle eye perspective of your situation. So maybe you could also be helping other people that you know, may need help as far as with building up their own sense of foundation and financial stability. You being able to, because you did what you had to do to get through your situation, you could potentially help other people get through their situation as well. Now, I did have a card that wanted to come out, but I guess I lost it while I was shuffling. So let's see. So it's time to release negativity. So yeah, and that's something that I saw as well with the Three of Swords in reverse. It looks like, sorry y'all, my cards just had flipped over. That's something I was getting with the Three of Swords in the reverse. It's just coming out of a period of time that was painful, and oftentimes we're going through painful and challenging things, and it is difficult to remain positive. And it's challenging to remain positive, especially when it comes to money situations. But here we also have, it's just time to release negativity. I think that you all have been hyper focused on this, and I can completely understand why, being hyper focused on your money. But something that can definitely just to help is going to be like your ability to remain positive. And what is your perception of how you see your situation? Do you perceive that your situation can get better, or do you think that your situation is only going to get worse? Like, how do you perceive that thing to be? It's really going to be up to you, especially when you look at it. What are your opinions, like I said, of your financial situation? Do you see yourself as a wealthy individual that can get through all things? You're just dealing with a hard time. What do you see yourself as, and how do you view your own situation? And I'm just getting that because Scorpios love to watch. Scorpios love to observe. They really do. So I can already tell that there's been a hyper focus and sensitivity that is, surrounding this, experience here. And then we also have a fiery climax approaches. Now, I was picking up on some Aries energy earlier within the reading, especially when I brought up the Page of Swords. But Aries is a fire card. It's a fire card. Aries is a fire sign. You feel me? It's one of they say the most immature signs anyway, because it's the baby. It's literally the start of the zodiac cycle, I guess you could say. But we have here a fiery climax approaches, and just with this being a fire sign, also standing for the wands, you know what I'm saying, within the minor arcana wands, and a lot of that is really about passion and inspiration. It also is about creativity. I don't know why I heard sexual matters. Y'all, I'm done. But for the most part, a fiery climax approaches. It just lets me know that, like, of course your situation is going to change, and it's really going to just be just an amazing spark, and that time is coming for you. So I definitely would not give up, the hope, and I definitely understand why it's saying to, release negativity and just behave as if your financial situation has already changed. Behave as if you have the hundreds of thousands of dollars, or if you want multi-millions in your account, just go start now and behave as if you have those things within your account, and get into the emotion of those things. Get into the emotion. Don't wait until the money is in your account before you go ahead and do so. And it's funny because I literally just thought about sexual matters, and then this salt and pepper card with sexuality came up. But I'm going to get some clarification, because the next question I was going to ask is, how can you best navigate towards this? It's funny too, because the Queen of Wands in the reverse, I'll read her for being manipulative, like utilizing her feminine wiles. But we'll see, because with sexuality, like, it does make sense as far as with the sacral chakra, and just what it means, the sacral chakra, and just what it means to just be, it's just a certain type of openness that comes with that chakra, especially if you're being sexual, or if you're being creative. It's like they come from the same, it's coming from the same place. But essentially, if anything, I would just say it's just about you being open. It's about you being open. It's about you being daring. It's about you having the ability to just express things that maybe were taboo, or maybe society thinks of as a one way, but maybe you having the ability to just express these things in more of a healthy way, and more of an accepting way, something like that. I'm really getting, like, just more so of a sense of a sense of openness. But yeah, sexuality did come up at a specific point in time. Maybe that's how you all are trying to cope with your financial situation, lack thereof. Maybe that's how you're trying to cope, is through, you know, getting close with others, or just maybe even exploring your sexuality, or even sensuality with yourself. So maybe that's how you're trying to cope through this situation. But we also have Missy Elliott with innovation. So how can you best continue to navigate towards, you know, building up your own foundation and things and your financial situation? And it's literally through doing things differently, especially when it comes to business. And you have the death card here as well. So, you know, it is time for you to look at what you did before and understand that, you know, maybe what I did before doesn't really work for me right now, you know, especially when it comes to business. Maybe it's time for me to introduce some new systems. Maybe it's time for me to introduce some new ideas, some new products, some new services, just anything new that kind of gives you an edge. Maybe it is time for you to change, you know. Oftentimes when things happen, it's really to put us in a situation of change, because as adults, adults as humans, is always a constant state of flux. Like, we're always changing. We're always, you know, what is it called? We're always, you know, I was about to say mutating. No, but we're always being called to be flexible and to stretch and grow in different directions. So, and that's actually a reading that I really wanted to do. So it makes sense as to why it would come out during this. But yeah, like, you know, it's time for you to, you know, do some things different, and not be afraid to really step out. You know, maybe when you get this money, people might be expecting for you to constantly be giving, and maybe that new innovative thing is for you to be like, you know what, I need to focus on myself and on what I want to do, so I must give to myself first. So that's all I have. I definitely hope that this reading was definitely helpful to you, and that you were able to understand what your unexpected blessings are, you know, coming up within the next 1 to 3 months. But since I shined a light on it, it may not be as unexpected anymore. But this is something that you can actually consciously be aware of, and consciously be working towards. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you in the next one. All right, fam. If you chose pile 2, which is the Modern Witch Tarot deck with the selenite crystal, I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading right now. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're asking, what are your unexpected blessings? So we're going to be looking at, also looking at what is it going to give you, and how can you best navigate towards this blessing. Wow. I feel like all of these blessings have to do with just, let me not say all, but it definitely has had to do with money and opportunity. But let's see what y'all been dealing with. Yeah, I definitely think this has to also do with your financial situation. But I think that this is more so with you, legitimizing with you actually legitimizing your ideas into things that are substantial, which is something that I see all the time as an entrepreneur that seeks to help others get started with their ideas and seeks to help others with organizing. Let me get another card, because that's what I had for the, yeah. Cause yeah, just as someone who seeks to help others, start up entrepreneurship and get people started, and and organizing their actual thoughts and ideas into legitimate, business ideas, plans, and goals. This is definitely something I feel like that you've been experiencing. Maybe you've been experiencing having so many different ideas, or maybe having so many different maybe even streams of income, or just so many different passions that you have, especially with the seven of cups. Like when I see the seven of cups, I always think about also imagination, but I also think about options. I also think about options. So it may feel as though I don't know, I feel like you all feel as though you may not have the options or the opportunity that you specifically want. I see that you all do have a lot of things that are on your mind, especially within your imagination. But maybe you've had some issues with actually being able to legitimize these things, or actually feeling like there's energy and there's action being put into what it is that you want, or what it is that you want to do. So you all may have been experiencing some stagnant energy, but let's face it, like if you're not moving forward and progressing with something, then you're moving backwards, because there's no such thing as staying in one place. That's not really how things move energetically. It's energy is always moving. It's either gonna propel you forward, or it's gonna, in a way, stagnate and take you backwards. So it seems like a lot of you all may have had some issues with, putting the energy into maybe doing what it is that you want to do. Maybe this is a personal thing, not necessarily things not working out the way in which you want to, but maybe not having the creative ideas, the thoughts, the energy, the passion, the creativity, the inspiration to actually make forward moving action on what it is that you actually really want to do. Now, some of you all might be a little too, I feel like it's maybe being a little too afraid to compete, or maybe always coming out on the losing end of things. So as far as within you, I'm kind of seeing it more so as you might be a little afraid to compete, or a little afraid to put yourself out there fully, as much as I think that you really would want to be, or you would want to do. And so, in a sense, it's a lot of stagnant energy around this, but I also see that it's based off of choice. Like with the Eight of Wands, that could definitely be the situation itself, but especially with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, that's on you. You know what I'm trying to say? That's on you. So a lot of you all could have been dealing with some emotional issues. You could have been dealing with some challenges. You could have been dealing with some pain. From previous relationships, or even from your own thoughts and ideas potentially not working out, to where you might feel like, is this something that's even worth doing? That's something you might be questioning and asking yourself, like, this thing isn't moving, or I may not have the energy. I may not have the energy. And not to laugh, but I was thinking to myself, like, subconscious do not program this. I'm just saying that a lot of y'all might have really suffered from just a lack of energy, passion, and drive, and this has kept you this has probably kept you stuck. This is potentially why things could be moving slowly for you. And not to say that what you want to build, and your thoughts and your ideas and what you want for yourself isn't substantial, but it's really gonna come down to your own ability to put the time and to put the energy into those things. It's gonna come down to your own ability. Not to say that what you have, like I said, isn't worth it. It's just really going to come down to your own ability to compete, to put yourself out there, to make whatever it is that you want to do known. And don't think that just because you have multiple ideas and nothing might be fleshed out the way in which you would like to be, that you can't go with what you have. Now, that's a common misconception. A lot of people feel like things have to be perfect, but the fact of the matter is things are never going to be perfect. Especially if you don't, especially if you're not putting the time into it, then how are you going to expect for it to become perfect? How are you going to expect to become even more proficient if maybe you might be suffering with not putting in the time, the energy, and the creativity? Especially with the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. How are things supposed to, materialize if you're not putting the time that you need to put into the ideas that you have? And it's not to say that the ideas that you have aren't substantial. There's a lot of option, and there's a lot of opportunity in what you see and what you think and what you're passionate about. but that's going to come down to your ability to work. That's what it's going to come down to. So let's get into, your unexpected blessing around this thing, especially with the Queen of Swords in reverse. I think that not only will you be encountered with opportunity, but the unexpected blessing for you is you'll literally have the potential to transform. Okay, you'll have the potential to transform. This is something that came up in pile one as well. You'll have the potential to transform, but it's not just you're just transforming. Oftentimes people need to know where the change is going to occur, and the change is going to occur within you becoming fearless. The change is going to occur within you no longer being a victim, and you being able to put yourself out there and to invite these things in your life with a type of mental ability in which you'll be able to take what you need to take and leave what does not apply to you. It's like what we say in these tarot readings. Any other tarot reader, you'll hear them say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. I haven't really said that in my readings as of lately, but it is something that I've said in my previous readings, which is kind of implied. It's like, if this thing doesn't resonate with you, then it just doesn't. Don't try to make something fit. For you, you'll put yourself in a position to be making decisions. You'll put yourself in a position to actually feel like, what, my thoughts and ideas, maybe it is time for me to, organize them. So your blessing is really going to come within your mental ability to be able to see your way through through this thing, for your ability to be able to see your way through your opportunities, for you to be able to see your way through your ideas, and for you to actually be able to move these ideas forward. So this is something that you all may have been suffering from, and it could literally be, even with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it could literally just not have been your time. Maybe you needed to sit in this place of I just want to do these great things, but I don't know what to do. Like, maybe you needed to sit in that place of stagnation, of feeling like things are moving backwards, so that you would put the time and the energy and the attention to making sure that what you got going on moves forward. So that's your unexpected blessing. It really is a change, and you putting yourself in the driver's seat, as opposed to aimlessly just allowing things to move as slowly as possible. It's really up to you. You control the pace. And that's something that you have to understand. If you're moving backwards, understand that you're controlling that pace. We all see people who are intentionally moving backwards, and they're moving backwards fast. Okay. They're moving backwards very fast, but we also have to take note and pay attention to others who are moving forwards very fast. And I think it's really the blessing for you is for you to understand that this is like, it's really up to you. You control the pace of your life. And if you want to move forward quickly, and not to say that the Knight of Pentacles is nothing wrong with this energy. Okay. This is an energy of something that is of substance, but something that we also know with the Knight of Pentacles is that something that takes time. Okay. That is something that takes time. It is forward moving, but it's taking time. It's moving slowly. For you, why is it moving slowly? Maybe you're keeping yourself in a place of stagnation, and you're not going after what your soul needs. Okay. You're not going after what your soul actually truly needs. So it's really gonna, power one and two. So it's really up to you, being able to put yourself in a place to, where you're focused on yourself, understanding that you no longer have to defend yourself against whatever pain, whatever challenge, whatever thing that you went through in the past that maybe didn't work out, whatever it is that's keeping you in fear of putting yourself out there, whatever it is that makes you think that you're a loser and maybe things aren't organized, like, because the Five of Swords energy, that's very much like it's a very like, it's that energy where it's like, it is what it is, win or lose. To what extremes will people do what they need to do to win? Okay. So for you, with that being in the reverse, it's not like you just been out here competing and just doing what you needed to do. It seems like you've been coming out on the other end of it. You've been coming out on the other side of it. And it's maybe because you haven't yet taken your passions and your interests seriously. But your blessing is you having the mental ability to take these things seriously. You having the ability to actually push forward and to put the energy, to put the time, to put the passion, the inspiration behind what it is that you want to do. And that's amazing, because it's showing to me that this is something that's very substantial. Once you know, decide to put the time and the energy and stop being lazy or stop paying attention to this thing, like, you'll have the ability to really create something new, especially here with this Magician card. It's important for y'all to stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Don't convince yourself that what you want isn't for you, or it's not good enough for you, or it's whatever. You know, stop convincing yourself. The blessing is you literally being put in a mental position to where you understand, like, it is up to me to manifest what I want into my life. It's not up to anybody else. And I can decide how quickly this moves along, and I can decide how slowly this moves along. Now, if you're tired of being stagnant and you're tired of going backwards, then my advice would definitely manifest these things with the quickness. Okay? Don't wait. Why are we waiting? Don't wait. Why are we waiting? You know what I'm trying to say? Have the strength and courage of being forward thinking and understanding that, like, this is on you. You know, be a brave heart. Okay. When I saw the lion, that's just what I thought. Brave heart. Especially when you think about the Wizard of Oz, and that's really all the lion wanted was a heart. Like, what was it, a heart? Or did he want some courage? Yeah. Because the Tin Man wanted a brain, right? No, the Scarecrow, I think, wanted a brain. The Tin Man, I think he wanted a heart. I don't remember. Go ahead and let me know, okay? But I know that the lion, in this case, the lion really needed some courage and really needed some bravery. But unbeknownst to the lion, through the process of them getting to the Wizard of Oz, he had developed those things. Okay, so literally, what you want is in the walk. Okay, can we put that in the comment section? What I want is in my walk. It's important for you to keep walking and moving forward so that you can attain these things. What you want is in the walk. So, let's go ahead and get into, what is this blessing going to give you? I mean, I told you, some things, but let's get into it with the Sacred Destiny, Oracle. These are Oracle cards. What is this going to give you? What is it going to give you? Blessings. It's going to give you blessings. Like, this is giving me mad nine of pentacles. So it's like, just imagine taking something that wasn't yet legitimized and having the ability to legitimize that thing to the fact of now you're independent. Now you need no one. Now you're just being blessed, and now you're just being favored with just everything that you needed, plus more of what you didn't even know. So it's really going to come down to your mental ability. It's going to come down to your mental ability and just not being afraid and just putting yourself out there and understanding that you can create what you want and you control the pace within your life. You can slow it down. You can speed it up. But the one thing we can't do is we can't continue going backwards, because I'm sure you've experienced how that feels, and it's not something that at a soul level is right for you. At a soul level that you must go out there and get what you need. I'm trying to say, this is something that you understand at a soul level. I'm 100% sure that this is something that you understand. Now, I did have some cards come out. I'm just going to reshuffle because I only wanted one. But we also have new beginnings. And this is amazing, because this is just showing me that there's just so many infinite possibilities that are on the horizon for you. Here we have just the sun, like, just peeking out over the valleys and the mountains and the peaks. And then we also have some cosmic energy going on here as well. So it definitely reminds me of this magician energy. It's just like bringing things from the unseen to the seen, and just understanding that there's a new dawn, there's a new day, there's a new life. So you should definitely feel good. Okay. Shout out to anybody who caught that. Okay. Shout out to anybody who caught that, because that song literally came up for you. So feeling good. And it's just like, just a new feeling of just being revitalized. And I really think that you all are really gonna persist forward with this fearlessness. I don't think you're gonna really be able to recognize yourself as you are moving forward and attaining the things that you want in your life. So let's see. I don't know if I took you know what? I'm not sure the order in which I took these cards, but let's go ahead. We'll move into the next question, and I'll just get you two advice cards from the Moonology deck. But oh crap, how did this card find itself in this deck? All right, so how can you best navigate towards this? I don't know. I think I went backwards, y'all. I'm sorry. I really think I went backwards. I think I took these cards and then the hip hop queens, but I'll just leave it off to the side. But before we ask, how can you best navigate towards this, I'll just get you some Moonology cards. All right, if I don't get a card, I'm just gonna take from here. So similar to pile one, we also have it's time to release negativity. So of course you all have definitely been hyper focused on this as well. Pile one and two was kind of similar in a sense, but maybe you've been hyper focused or just trying to observe this situation in one way. But like I said, even with channeling the song Feeling Good through New Beginnings, you know, it's going to be important for you to get into the energy of feeling, like get into the energy of feeling great, get into that energy, because that energy is also going to help you to transform your situation as well. We have meditate and contemplate. I think it's time to maybe get real with yourself and think about ways in which you could have been delaying your own progress and moving forward, especially when you know at a soul level that something isn't quite right here. So I definitely think it's time for you to be able to think about things, even think about things from a different perspective, or just be even more compassionate and with yourself, and just even more free flowing. Understand that you only could do the best that you can do, but now it might be time to just kind of flow with the current instead of flowing against the current. As we all know, if you've ever tried to swim against a current, it's like a little difficult because you're going against the flow of water, you know? So it might be time for you to maybe reroute and understand, like, why am I going this way? It's so challenging. I feel like in your situation, you could definitely be experiencing that, where you're kind of like bumping your head against the wall or something. Not to say that you're actually doing that, but just metaphorically, maybe bumping your head against the wall trying to make sense of something that's just not making sense. And it might be time for you to just choose a different direction. It's not to say that you're giving up on yourself or you're giving up on wanting to legitimize what it is that you want to do, but maybe you have to go about these things in a different way. A lot of y'all have felt as though you've had to defend what it is that you needed to do against other people, but it's just understanding that, like, if this is something that you want to do, okay, cool, but it is going to be up to you to put the time and the energy into that thing. No one else can do that for you. Surrender to the divine. Yeah, just look, this is very straightforward. Surrender to the divine. And when you surrender to the divine, I can definitely say that you will receive a different perspective on the situation, one that is a lot much more clear, one that isn't really riddled with confusion. Y'all know how the divine is. Like, when the divine settles something, when the divine says something, when it's implying something, like, that is what it is, and it's nothing else. You know, it's nothing else. And so I think that a lot of you could definitely be dealing with some type of confusion as well, even with the 7 of Cups. It could be some confusion as well. But I can definitely say that if you just flow with the energy, and just allow, spirit to come in and to help you in your situation, you'll find that your mindset will be changing. You'll find that your mental agility, your mental ability will be changing, and you'll be putting more focus into understanding that it's up to you to manifest and create what you want within your life. And I think that's the blessing. It's just helping you out of a state of confusion, out of a state of pain, out of a state of challenge, after a state of, and just, it's in a sense, it's like giving yourself the permission to rest, like giving yourself the permission to get things together, but also giving yourself the permission to, I don't know if I said to progress, I think I said to rest, but giving yourself the permission to progress, and to progress exponentially faster than how you've been progressing. So how can you best navigate towards this? Oh, okay. So with Janelle Monáe, we have fluidity. Now Janelle Monáe is definitely fluid with her choices, her romantic choices, and what her own particular interest is, and what she particularly wants. So I think this is the same thing for you, but it doesn't have to be in that way, but it's just you being more, especially with, meditate and contemplate, going more so with the flow of things, as I think is something that is definitely gonna be able to help you. Like I said, there could have been some stress. You could have been feeling like you was hitting your head against the wall, metaphorically speaking. You could have been in a period of just being confused, not really knowing what to do. But it's just about being easier with yourself, having more compassion for yourself, and just being more in a state of going with the flow, understanding that things are constantly changing, even if it's something that you have to do with your emotional state, or even just with what you need on a soul level. Just go with the flow of what it is that your soul is telling you to do. And that, in a sense, you have to surrender to the divine, because your higher self is in connection with the divine. So when you surrender to yourself, to your higher self, to what your higher self sees for you, you in a sense are one with the divine. So it's just going to be important for you all to just go with the flow, like go with the flow, like whatever idea is pressing for you to focus on, then hash out the idea and put the work into that idea. And then we also have Rihanna with dominance, and this is how Rihanna, for the most part, she has dominated a lot of different industries, one after another, or even at the same time. She definitely has. I can't say that she's doing it right now at the time of this video when it comes to music, but she has had her place, and she has had her time when it comes to this. Now, this card is representing, I guess, her song S&M, or just her putting herself in more of a masculine position of just control. Her putting herself in more of a masculine position of control in that song, and her dominating, I guess, her partner. But within the case of you, I think it's more so of you just understanding, like, who is dominant in my life? Who is it? And that's really what's going to help you to become more fearless, like this Queen of Swords energy, not afraid to interact with your outside world, not afraid to put yourself out there to compete, because you're manifesting what you want into your life. So if anything, I just think it's more so of you putting yourself into the driver's seat of your career, of your passion, of your interest, like an understanding that this thing isn't going to move until I make it move. Okay? I just got the image of someone trying to push a boulder up a hill, push a rock up a hill, something like that, where it's just like, okay, if I need to get up to the top of that hill, to that peak, to the top of this mountain, and it is my responsibility to get this rock up there. This rock isn't going to get from point A to point B unless I put some real energy and motion behind it, so I could definitely say that I'm excited for you, because things are definitely going to move forward if that's something that you choose. But it's just letting you know that it's like you're in control of your life, and it's really going to be up to you. You're in the driver's seat. And if you want your life to progress, if you want it to progress quickly, because it can, you can make a lot of change within the course of 3 to 6 months. You can make so many changes. You can. It just comes down to your ability to see yourself as being able, your capability to see yourself as being able to do so. So that's your blessing. That's your unexpected blessing. But I mean, now you understand. Now you understand. So now this is within your zone of awareness, that now this is something that you can consciously work on, because now you know. Now you know that you're about to receive some character traits that, will definitely follow you through and will help you to become even more successful than what you think you are, or what you thought you could accomplish. So that's it from me. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And yeah, and I will see you in the next one. All right, fam. If you chose pile 3, which is the Essential Tarot with the citrine crystal, we're going to go ahead and get started with your reading. We're going to be looking at, some unexpected blessings. The vibe for the readings thus far have definitely had to do with business. It's definitely had to do with business, entrepreneurship. So let's see what some other unexpected blessings are. Let's see what they are for pile 3. We're also going to be looking at what are these blessings going to give you, and how you can best navigate towards these things. All right, so just a little, bit of a, I guess a backstory, or just kind of what's currently going on with you, is I feel like a lot of you all have definitely had to spend some time with yourself, with the Tower in the reverse. Typically when I read the Tower in the reverse, I'll read it for, internal things that are going on with you, internal things. I think a lot of you all have, I know what this is. A lot of you all have just always had to take on so much, especially individually, like by yourself. You always had to take on so much. And what I mean by so much could be just different responsibilities and different tasks, different duties. You may have had a duty to do some certain things. You could also be a single parent. You could be, and what I'm hearing is like, you're not meant to be alone. So I feel like a lot of you all could literally be in need of a helpmate. You're in need of a helpmate. I feel like you've had to take on so many things, and it may have affected you in different ways internally. It may have affected you in different ways, but I'm getting you all just having to take on so much responsibility and having to take on so many duties and things that you felt like you had to take on, and it could have just been your own personal situation. You've had no other option but to have to take on these things. But have they made you feel great internally? I can't say. I cannot say. I feel like you are always in a constant state of change. You're always in a constant state of having to stretch and focus on one thing and reroute and focus on another thing. It's just giving me the vibe of like a single parent. It's giving me the vibe of a single parent. It's giving me the vibe of maybe even a serial entrepreneur, someone that has always had to consistently go here, go there, do this, do that, especially with the King of Pentacles showing up. especially with the King of Pentacles showing up, and then you also have the Empress. So I just feel like, it's not to say that y'all have not been successful at doing these things, but I feel like you're getting to a point in which it's like you would rather not want to have to be responsible for everything. It could be taking a toll on you emotionally. It could be taking a toll on you just internally, where it's like, you know, these things are getting done, but maybe they're scattered. Maybe there isn't any type of organization. Maybe there isn't some type of set schedule or some type of stability within that. You're just kind of doing, you know. And it's not to say that things aren't getting done. It's just a simple fact that I think you're at a place in which you require help. You need help. You need help. So a blessing that I definitely can see that is coming to you definitely is help. Help. I see help coming for you. Like, I see a partner coming for you, especially with the King of Pentacles. Like, if this is to stand for a person, or if this is even you, within you, and you finally getting to a level within your own personal business, or you finally getting to a level within your own with your entrepreneurship, or with whatever it is that you spend all of this time doing, with whatever it is that you have all of these responsibilities that are going on. But of course, with the King of Pentacles, I'm going to think that this has to do with money. This has to do with business. This has to do with enterprise. This has to do with something that, you know, a lot of people may not. I mean, people deal with this, but it may just be a select few, because there's a certain type of maturity that comes with the King of Pentacles, okay? The King of Pentacles isn't someone that is easily swayed here and there. The King of Pentacles is very stable. He knows who he is, and because he knows who he is, he can better show up in his affairs from a place of strength and from a place of maturity. He's better able to be in a place of, especially with the Five of Swords, of a place of competition, and knowing that he is going to win. Why is he going to win? Why is he going to win? Because he has this knowledge and this esteem within himself and within his abilities to win. He knows that. So I feel like a lot of you all are really going to benefit from some type of help that is going to put you in a position to where you are better off. This could definitely be financially, with the Ten of Pentacles, especially having to do with generational wealth. But I feel like it also has to do with romantically as well, because with the Ten of Pentacles, it's a family legacy. It's a family. It's multiple generations that you see on that card. But if you're a single person, if you're on your own, it's like, how am I supposed to have you can have a legacy with yourself. You can have a legacy with yourself. You as an individual person, and the work that you do can definitely set you up for legacy. But with the Ten of Pentacles specifically, this is a multi-generational, it's typically a multi-generational family that is seen on that card. It's multi-generational, which means that it's stemming out further from just the work that we do and the implications for what that work does for us. It does something substantial for the people that come behind us, you know? So I really feel like a lot of you all, and this is something that you have to make the decision that you know that you want. But I feel like when it comes down to the Judgment card, I always think about, you know, divine intervention, and these things happening through divine intervention. So you might be, I mean, it's looking like a lot of you all can really be expecting a very significant romantic relationship, one that is going to inspire multi-generational wealth. So this is a lot. This is a lot, especially with the Four of Wands as well. So you can be looking forward to marriage. You could also be looking forward to some type of compromise, or finally reaching a point to where it's like, I'm finally here. It's like when I do this reading, it's like I'm just getting sighs of relief. Like, I'm just hearing sighs of relief of someone just being like, oh my God, finally. You know, you're just moving through a period of challenge and a period of potential difficulty to finally get what it is that you know that you deserve, but also the help that you know that you need to move on to something else. You know, that help. So I feel like if this isn't you, if this is another person, if this isn't you, this is another person, is definitely, well, if it's another person, then best believe you should definitely be looking forward to dating a wealthy gentleman. But I also feel like this even has to do with you as well. with you as well, like maybe getting out there and putting yourself out there, and not stopping until you get what you want. Not stopping until you get, if it's help that you need, you get the help that you need. If it's, joining your, if it's increasing your financial situation, it's increasing your financial situation. If it's creating a legacy, if it's getting married, it's being able to do so. But I think it comes down to your ability to know yourself so that you know exactly what it is that you're pursuing. Because let's face it, with these internal things that you're dealing with these burdens, these responsibilities, these things, like, they're tough. They're tough, and it would make someone feel like they're not stable. It would make someone feel like they don't have it together as much as they thought they did. It would make someone feel like that. But it's just letting me know that your blessing is that really, like, help is on the way. Help is on the way. I think it just comes down, of course, to you not stopping until you get what you need. Is you not stopping until you get what you need. And even with marriage and stuff too, if babies, if that's what you want, if that's what you want, that's definitely a possibility for you as well. Because I'm getting the Four of Wands. It signifies the marriage, divine, partnership. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. And then we also have the Empress, which typically, even here, it looks like this card is being depicted by a pregnant woman, So even too, if you wanted to look at it as far as your business and enterprise, it's just you having more ideas, more creative ideas, because the Empress definitely is all about creation, sitting pretty and sitting comfortable. So even, again, if you wanted to look at it as far as, like, within the realm of twin flames, like I said, this would be you being with, a divine partner. Or even if, and oftentimes I think about twin flames relationships as being like the most important karmic relationship that you'll ever encounter, because that relationship teaches you so many lessons about yourself and just how to deal with people, and especially how to deal with people in a romantic sense if you decide to learn those lessons. Okay, how many people do we know are in relationships over and over and over again, and they just haven't applied any of the lessons that they have learned, right? So deciding to apply a lesson is really just a matter of choice. But once you know, you can't not know. You feel me? Once you've been given this information, it's like you cannot forget that information. So, but yeah. Also, another card that I also had got for y'all that came out was the Six of Swords. So that's just letting me know that you will be moving out of with the Six of Swords, it's typically moving out of a place of difficulty, or moving out of a place of just, great challenge, and just picking up and going, like picking up and going. So you all definitely may have to pack light. That's something that I got. So what song was that came up? Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. So it might be time for you all to maybe let some of these things go. These things that maybe you felt like you've had to take responsibility for, these tasks, these duties, these things that you felt like you just had to do. Because especially if this comes down to you having a partner, you'll have a helpmate. So this is someone who can pick up and help you where help is needed. You feel me? So maybe it's time for you to really start to create space so that you can invite this energy of this person in, or just, creating space so that this person can come in, because maybe there's a certain way in which they handle things that's easier. Maybe there's an easier way, but maybe you won't know that until you decide to give up the feelings of having to constantly always be doing, what I'm trying to say, or constantly be taken care of. So maybe this person will show you just an even more easier way with how to navigate, these things, and how to maybe navigate and operate within your life. But I'm definitely getting that, a blessing for you is just maybe even a new creative approach. To doing things, moving out of a place of difficulty into a place of more stillness, So let's see. I'm definitely excited for your unexpected blessing. Because this is definitely, it's just letting me know that, like, just any difficulties and things that you've been experienced, like help is on the way, to where it's like you're not going to be dealing with these experiences for too much longer. Now, I can't predict a husband or a wife, a husband or a wife, generational wealth, and a baby within the next month to 3 months. But you could definitely be on your way there. You could definitely be on your way there. And like I said, I think it comes down to your ability to creating space for that energy to really come into, to really to live, you know. And so we also have the 9 of Pentacles as, is this the 9 of, I'm tripping, y'all. The 9 of Cups. I said the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is really just feeling of satisfaction, a feeling of achievement, a feeling of accomplishment, of having more than enough, which is amazing. I feel like these burdens and these responsibilities that you do, it's like you might feel as though you have to do these things because you're the only one that can accomplish these things. Or if, like I said, if you're a single parent, you might automatically be defaulted, right? You might automatically have to be in a position where it's on you. You know, that's probably, it's just automatic. It's on you. It's just, it is what it is. You can't drop these things. But I can definitely say that, you know, just through this blessing that comes, it's like it'll seem like it was all worth it. It'll seem like it was all worth it. It's kind of what I'm getting. It'll definitely seem like, you know what, I dealt with this period of difficulty. I decided to move past, I was given the blessing of having the ability to move past this difficulty, and now I'm in a better place. So it's kind of like the vibe of just like when you start your business and you're responsible for so many things. But the good thing about being responsible for so many things is that you'll know exactly how each task should be done. You'll know exactly the competency, the abilities, the skills that you need to complete each task, so that when you go out to contract help, you know exactly what needs to be done. You're fully aware and you're fully knowledgeable of what needs to be done, what needs to be done, what tasks need to be complete. Okay, I need to, you know, repeat myself, but that's what I'm trying to say. You feel me? So I really think that it's like all of these things that you're going through isn't for nothing. It's just gonna, I think, put you in a better place to be able to communicate what your needs are moving forward. And you're gonna be, you know what you need, and you know that what you want. So it's like you're not really taking less until you get what you need. And I think just one of the blessings too is realizing that you're gonna get more than what you thought you needed. So let's look at, what is this unexpected blessing going to give you? Yo, this one card literally keeps trying to come out, but it's old energy. It's old energy from my other decks, from my other piles. I'm sorry, from pile 1 and 2. But if you're curious about that card, it's change, which we know. So what is this blessing going to give you? It's release, which is something that I definitely expected, especially with this 6 of Swords card. It's just you being able to release just all of these burdens and responsibilities that you've had, and definitely putting yourself in a place of, it's like when you release things, it's like it puts you in a place of renewal. And it just is like, it's so compassionate to sometimes just let go of things, like especially when you know you've been working yourself to the bone, or you just been staying on top of all of these things all the time. Like it just gives you a nice break. So I definitely like the fact that the help that is on the way for you is going to give you the opportunity to just release, like, And it's not to say that what you were doing wasn't beautiful. It wasn't, things that had to be done, but it's just letting you know that, like, those things, when you release things and create space, it's going to give you the ability to manifest, newer things into your life. So it's just all about you creating space, create space for the good that you seek. Empower, there's a power in being able to release things. There's a power in being able to say that, enough is enough, and I can't do this anymore. There's a power in being able to state, maybe I can't do this, and it's not to say that you don't have the ability to, but maybe consistently grinding is burning you out, and maybe it is time for you to get some rest. And I actually did see the Four of Swords at a certain point in time, so I definitely love the fact that, like, your unexpected blessing of help is gonna also give you the opportunity to rest. It's gonna give you the opportunity to just relax, and there's nothing wrong with relaxing. Okay. Oh, I have the right deck. I was tripping. I was definitely tripping. I was like, I have the wrong deck, but I didn't. Just give me a second to shuffle these cards, because I didn't shuffle them from from pile 2. So I'm going to shuffle these cards and give you all some more information. We have balance, spirituality, and practicality. And I like that card. I like that card because it's just letting you know that, like, and I think you, of course, it's just letting you know that it's like, yes, you can rely on the divine, but especially with this Five of Swords card, it's like, it's going to really be up to you to go out and get what you want, or what best suits you. And to push it to the limit to get these things, like, how far are you willing to go to get what you want? How far are you willing to walk? Like, are you willing to decline offers and things that may not be within, your realms of desire? Like, what are you willing to do? And oftentimes people think that the divine is just going to do everything for them. And the divine is not just going to sit there and do everything for you. You have to also make sure you're putting action in that tells the divine, like, you know what? This person, they've been putting in this work. All right, now I think it's time to take them to the next level. Now I think it's time for them to see, the evidence of what they've created, of what they've desired, and of what they wanted. Now I think it's time. So that's amazing. We have a win-win outcome is forecast, which lets me know that, like, just as much as you're potentially needing this help and you need this helpmate, just as much as, like, it's something that you need, I'm 100% sure that it's also something that this other person needs as well. So it's just amazing that essentially the both of you, if you decide to make this thing official with this blessing that's coming your way, it seems like the both of you will be at a place in which you can both compromise, especially with that Four of Wands, and a place in which you can, like, compromise just how life is going to look like for the both of you. Whether you decide to expand on your family, especially with that Empress coming up, and of course with the Ten of Pentacles, if you decide to expand with your family, or if you decide not to. It's really all about just balance, and that's something that's coming up here as well. So I really do think that if you put forth the energy, do as much as you can do within the 3D, then I also see that, the divine and spirit is going to come through for you on the supernatural. It's just making sure that you do all you can on the natural plane, and just expect great things. A win-win outcome is forecast. That's like letting me know that you'll be in a place in which you could successfully allow, spirit to do what it needs to do, and whatnot. So with the hip hop queens, we're just going to look at, how can you best navigate towards this unexpected blessing? I bet you did not know that help was on the way. Go ahead. If you got pile 3, put it in the comments. Like, help is on the way. Finally, exclamation mark. If it resonates with you, help is finally on the way. It's going to change your financial situation, and it's definitely going to change your family structure. It is going to change. And if you're not looking at anybody in a romantic aspect and sense, it's just a lot of good information here around, you know, your own business and financial stability as well. How can you best navigate towards this ambition? You know, and I think ambition is definitely a personal thing. Ambition is all about, like, you know, how far do I want to take this? Like, how far do I want to take this, like, my life? You know, I'm trying to say how far. And I think, you know, just being in that Five of Swords energy for your own personal situation is going to help you, because that's a very ambitious type of card. You know, despite the negative connotations of, you know, someone potentially of dog eat dog, or someone potentially trying to manipulate things for their own particular gain, regardless or not, like, you can say that that Five of Swords card is it's an ambitious type of card. It looks at, you know, what is my full potential, you know, and me taking the steps to get there. So that's why I'm just like, you know, operating. But even too with the King of Pentacles, it lets me know that you're operating with a sense of maturity. You're not I just thought to my head, don't stop till you get enough. It's like you're not stopping until you get exactly what it is that you want, and you don't care how long it takes. Now, this could be something that you could have previously been dealing with anyway. You know, how did you even get to the point of where you had to take on all of these things by yourself? How did you even get to that point? Unless if it wasn't for you being ambitious, you know, that at a certain point in time, you know, a lot of, when you decide to take on things, you might need like some rest. You might need some realization because you're doing a lot. But for you to even get to that point to where you're just like, yeah, look, I got to handle these things. I have responsibilities. I have duties. I have tasks. I'm carrying them. At a certain point, I'm just thinking, how did you even get to that point? It must have taken you ambition to feel like you can handle these things on your own. At a certain point in time, especially through this reading, it's just letting you know that help is on the way, especially if you need it. And then we have the brat with rebellion. So how can you best navigate towards it? Yeah, it's not really settling. I just think that for you, it's just not really like, again, just not really settling until you get what you want, despite what anybody else could say. You know, despite what anyone else, if anyone else wanted to pass judgment on your situation, if anyone else, yeah, I'm just getting past judgment on your situation. Or if anybody else has anything to say about your situation, it's just like, you're not going to stop until you particularly get what you need. Like, you're not going to stop, regardless of how that looks like. People probably have something to say about you handling all your responsibilities on your own, especially if you're if you're a single parent, if you're doing business, operating within your business by yourself, for yourself. It's like people might have things to say about the way in which you're going about things, but you don't really care. And I think that that's something that you're used to doing, is kind of going against what people have to say and not really caring. But I think it all has to do with your ambition, because you have a vision, you have a perspective of where you want to be. So only you can I sounded like I was from Baltimore, excuse me. Only you can navigate, you know, your own ship. Only you, and you know that. So you're gonna take it to the umpteenth power. That's just what you're gonna do. You're gonna take it to the end. You're gonna take it wherever you want it to go, and you don't really care about what other people have to say about that. Like, you've went through so many internal changes that have had to do with everything that you've been holding on to anyway. You know, you've been having to see your way through this on a day-by-day basis. So it's just kind of like, why would I care what other people have to say about my situation? Why would I care? You know? And I think that person that comes into your life, whether it is to help you with your financial situation, or whether it is to get into a romantic relationship with you, or both, I think that person is going to understand that spirit that you have, and that's going to be the thing that is going to connect the both of you all together. But you also do this from a mature point of view. You're not just out here like, oh, it's my way or the highway, but you've done so much, you've carried so much that at the end of the day, regardless of if people want to judge you or not, it's really your way. Like, it's really your way for your life. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. I hope everyone that chose this pile enjoys this pile. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was definitely helpful for you just understanding what the unexpected blessing is coming into your life. But it was unexpected. Now it's expected. Now this is something that you're consciously aware of, and you can continue to keep walking towards this if this is something that you want for yourself. So with that being said, y'all, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in the next reading.